Welcome to Bloomers in the Garden. I'm Len Schroeder.
And I'm Julio Zamora.
And first up on today's show, we're going to talk about how so many people are asking us, is it still time to plant?
Then we're going to talk about winter flowering camellias in your landscape.
And have you ever wondered why the leaves change color? Listen in and you'll know why.
How are your mums looking? If they're done blooming, we'll tell you what to do with them.
And we're going to share the benefits of planting ornamental kale and cabbage.
So stay tuned, and we'll be back after this short break. Bloomers in the Garden is brought to you each week by Bloomers Home and Garden Center. Bloomers is an award-winning garden center just 20 minutes from Philadelphia. Bloomers has been providing expert advice turning brown thumbs green for over 30 years. At Bloomers, we want you to ask us every question, even if you think it's silly. We share information in a friendly, non-judgmental way that is meant to teach and spread the joy of gardening. Visit Bloomers Home and Garden Center in Washington Township, Gloucester County. For directions, go to bloomers.com, and we'll see you in the garden.
The Bird Sanctuary at Bloomers Home and Garden Center is dedicated to the care and feeding of wild birds. We carry a flock of feeders like the Brome Squirrel-Proof Feeder, which has a lifetime guarantee. Brome makes fantastic feeders for frustrating squirrels and feeding songbirds. Bloomers Bird Sanctuary has a vast selection of wild bird seed, suet, seed cakes, and mealworms. We carry Lyric, Coles, C&S, Pine Tree Farms, and our own line called Bloomers Blend. Bloomers Blend Songbird Magnet contains premium black oil sunflower, peanut splits, millet, safflower, and tree nuts. It's sure to attract the most colorful songbirds to your yard. Bloomers Home and Garden Center is located in Washington Township in Gloucester County, New Jersey. Visit us online at www.bloomers.com. When you come in, ask for Shirley Spurbeck, Bloomers Wild Bird Specialist. Mention you heard it on Bloomers in the Garden Radio, and we'll give you $10 off a 20-pound bag of Bloomers Blend Songbird Magnet Mix. Hi, this is Len Schroeder from Bloomers in the Garden. Do you have a landscape, garden, or plant question? If so, call or text us using the Bloomers in the Garden hotline. Dial 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. Don't be shy. We want to hear from you. Call or text us and let us know what problems you're facing. Let us know how we're doing. Call or text 609-685-1880. If we use your comment on the air, we'll send you a free Bloomers t-shirt. Call or text us at 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. And we'll see you in the garden.
Welcome back to Bloomers in the Garden. Len, you know, we get a lot of customers coming in. They're saying, can I still plant?
What's with that?
I don't know.
Fall is for planting.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, it is. Wonderful.
You're in the nursery, and are you still getting that question?
Oh, I got it the other day.
Yeah.
Just 2 days ago.
The time that you cannot plant is when you can no longer get a shovel into the ground because the soil is frozen.
Frozen, huh?
That's it.
Frozen.
That's it.
Wow. I like that.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. Its selection kind of wanes at this time because nobody, most garden centers, they don't want to get stuck with plant material, but there's plenty of things to plant. Like we're going to talk about camellias in our next segment.
Oh, yes. Oh, they're wonderful.
Yeah, they are.
Some are blooming now.
That's true. That's true. No spoiler alerts. That's the next segment.
Okay.
But again, you can plant, and it's a great time to plant because we get naturally a rainy season here in the fall. Things go a little bit dormant during the winter time, slow down, and then we get a rainy season in spring. So you have two naturally rainy cycles that you go through before you hit the hot, dry weather. So
that's great.
Yeah.
And it's a lot cooler. You can go outside and, you're not sweating. Right, Len?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
And it's it's a good time. It's not like you said, it's great to be outside this time of the year. because like now we're not getting
Uh-huh.
those summer rains where
Right.
like it just spits. If it's going to be a rainy day, it's
Right.
pretty much going to be all day rain.
Now, what do you think that people are concerned about? Is it bad now and all this?
I think it's because they see the selection is less.
Uh-huh.
And we experience that at Bloomers, and that there are some places that are clearing out of their nursery stock, and it's because and it's a business decision
Right.
that
Right, it is.
where there's money tied up into those plants, that a lot of the nurseries just want to be, the garden centers, I should say,
Right.
want to be done with it.
Right.
We're like caught halfway.
Uh-huh.
Where we have a good enough selection of roses, of rhododendrons, of azaleas,
yes.
of all different plants,
Right.
but there's not like it would be in the spring.
We
Like
have a ton.
like there's those dwarf conifers. There's
Right.
a smaller selection of dwarf conifers, and again, it's a business decision, and if I could change one thing about garden centers and planting,
What would you do?
it would be to have people understand that you can plant all the way through December and
Okay.
into January,
Right.
but that it's not time to clear out of plant material and make the fall truly the second spring.
The second spring, yes.
So where we have a large variety of
So you
plants.
have more plants.
Right. What did we see last week? It was not winterberry. It was Golgotha. Not Golgotha. That's a church thing. No, it was not winterberry. It had ground cover this time of the year. It has a bright red berry on it. Like, it's a great plant, but it's not going to color like that until now.
Oh, okay. I got you.
It just doesn't.
Yeah. So you have to wait for that.
Right. And if you saw it in spring, you would say,
Right.
who cares?
Like
Like now,
Like chokeberries, maybe they change the color.
chokeberries are
leaves.
looking good, and there's that. We actually put them on sale.
Viburnums,
There's
the,
viburnum, right? The Brandywine,
Brandywine, yeah,
named
wonderful.
for this area.
This area, yes.
Yeah, great.
That's another great plant.
Great plant, but
So
you
there's
don't
a lot.
see that in the spring.
No, you don't.
No,
You never will.
Pyracantha is another one
Pyracantha.
that would do better, and
So-
and start looking for these things and ask for them at your local garden center, because if you ask for things, then they're likely to bring them in.
Uh-huh.
But if you're asking, when is everything going on sale?
Oh,
What's the incentive?
that's right.
What's the incentive?
There's still some gems out there too.
There are.
You go out there and you go, oh wow, look at that beautiful plant.
Yeah.
That you probably never saw because there's so many things
That's
out there.
right. Like you mentioned, the chokeberries.
The chokeberries.
Chokeberries, they don't look like anything most of the year, but
Yeah.
now it's the berry that makes it
Yes.
makes it look.
It does.
That's
It's
what
gorgeous.
really brings the color in. Where, again, it's not experienced in spring or summer.
Can you tell us a little bit about the soil at this time too?
What about it?
Is it still, is it?
There's
it's
moisture,
still
higher,
warm, right? And
It's
there's
still warm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I understand. Like the ambient temperature that,
Yes.
like, say this morning it was 46 degrees,
All right.
but the soil temperature is warm because it absorbs the sun and the heat from the sun.
Okay.
And so that soil temperature is actually warmer than the ambient temperature.
Look at that.
So even if we were to get a stretch where we had a morning where it's 32 degrees, the soil's
Right.
not 32 degrees. It's not freezing.
Right.
And again, that we're talking about stopping planting when you're having to dig through a frost layer where the ground is frozen 6 inches and you're putting back chunks of soil ice back around your plant.
Oh, boy.
And the reason for that is because the air pockets that are left around the root system are going to dry out and hurt that plant. But listen, that doesn't happen until we're into January.
Yeah, really.
So
Sure.
and
And let's say, for instance, you want some perennials. Will that putting them in now? That root system's going to grow a little bit now, right?
it absolutely is going to grow.
And then for next year, it's going to be a little stronger. You think?
It will, because what you're dealing with now is you're getting a full-sized plant,
Right.
where the perennial that today is getting upsized at the nursery now.
Okay.
So you're actually getting a next size plant by planting and
Boy.
purchasing plants, all of the plants, all of the
All
plants.
of the plants, right.
Like, for instance, a 2-gallon size shrub today is really a 3 to 5 gallon size plant. And,
In the spring.
and 3 to 5 gallon priced plant
Wow.
in the coming spring.
Wow, look at that.
Yep.
And so you're really accelerating the plant size. And how about the flowers? Will they grow more flowers? Or
It'll grow the same amount of flowers, but it's the size of the plant. That's going to be different.
Okay.
That's going to
So it's going to be more mature looking.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yep.
nice.
Yep. And it's like in the industry, we step it up. You take
Step
a
it up.
1-gallon plant, you put it in a 3-gallon pot, and the next season it grows the roots out and it grows the top growth out. And now you have, a 3-gallon sized plant. And that's what's done within, nurseries. I mean, that's how they make money. That you're essentially doing that, but instead of planting it in a bigger pot, you're just putting it in the ground. So you're actually going to have a bigger plant.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And the plants are hungry to get out of that. Pot.
Yeah, they don't want to be in there.
Yeah, they want to get in your soil and
That's
start
right.
stretching
Stretch
out.
out. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
great.
It's
Yep. It's all good.
it's time to go out and start looking for bargains because like I know that we have got stuff that's on clearance,
Yes.
certain items that we feel a little long on, and then we were at another local nursery. We paid a visit to Mastardi's again.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we did that as a team with Becky.
Becky, yes.
And beautiful nursery.
Oh, yeah,
and
gorgeous.
they had a great selection of really nice, healthy plants, and that they had deals too.
That's
you
right.
30%
Oh, yes,
off.
they did,
and that
a lot of beautiful things still out there, folks.
and that they were still bringing in fresh plant material.
Yes, they were.
And it's not like it's the leftover yellowing plants. They had all nice fresh
Very
material.
nice.
And that's what you need to find from your local garden center.
That's right.
And like I said, there are deals to be had. There are deals to be had. You'll probably find deals on roses. You'll probably find deals
quite
on
a bit.
any deciduous plants like spirea, things like that.
Right.
Yeah, that's something to look
So get out there, folks. This is a time to go planting right now.
That's right.
Right.
And listen, tell your local garden center when you go in
yes.
that you heard it on Bloomers in the Garden, that you're hearing the show.
right.
We want to make sure that we're being, good brothers in arms
That's
to our
right.
other independent garden centers.
Very
So
good.
go out there, let them know that you heard it. You heard it on the radio.
Yes. Please.
All right, coming up,
Uh-huh.
another great plant,
Right.
Camellias.
Oh, we love those.
Yeah, underused.
Underused. Yeah, I'm with you there.
All right, we'll be right back in the garden after this.
Are you tired of mice moving into your home with you every fall? Would you like to keep them from coming into your home? Do you dislike using mouse killers around your kids and pets? Bonide has the answer. Mouse Magic. Mouse Magic is an all-natural mouse repellent that keeps mice from coming into your home, summer cabins, cars, boats, RVs, farm equipment, garden sheds, and more. Mouse Magic has a pleasant aroma, which smells like spearmint and peppermint, but mice hate it. Mouse Magic repels by smell and works as an irritant that drives mice away. Just use 1 throw pack per average size room, and you are mouse-free for up to 2 months. Available in a 4-pack box or a 12-pack economy Ziploc bag. Bonide products are family made in America. Mouse Magic can be found at these fine stores.
Nestle Feed and Hardware, Morgantown, PA. Primex Garden Center, Glenside, PA. Harleysville Feed, Harleysville, PA. Does your garden have planting insurance? It can now with Biotone Starter Plus from Espoma. It's the ultimate starter plant food. The secret is a special blend of natural organic plant food, beneficial microbes, and mycorrhizal fungi. The result? Plants grow faster, roots grow deeper, flowers and vegetables flourish. Best of all, every Espoma product is safe for people, pets, and the planet. Visit espoma.com for a retailer near you. Biotone Starter Plus from Espoma, a natural in the garden since 1929. Hi, this is Len Schroeder from Bloomers in the Garden. Do you have a landscape, garden, or plant question? If so, call or text us using the Bloomers in the Garden hotline. Dial 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. Don't be shy. We want to hear from you. Call or text us and let us know what problems you're facing. Let us know how we're doing. Call or text 609-685-1880. If we use your comment on the air, we'll send you a free Bloomers t-shirt. Call or text us at 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. And we'll see you in the garden. Well, Julio, every winter, sometime in January, I'll post a picture of my camellia, Yuletide is the variety name, in bloom.
Ooh, my goodness.
It gets all of these hits. What is that?
What is that? Yeah.
What is that down south? And no, it's in my... It's
right by the driveway.
It's right by the driveway. It's protected a little bit because it's in like a little alcove where the garbage cans are kept. But boy, it is a friendly thing to see when the weather is so cold and you walk out and there's a beautiful red flower with yellow stamens and it's wonderful. It's out. And depending on what the weather's like, if the weather's kind of mild, I'll have a nice bloom throughout the entire plant. And this is January.
January, yeah,
really,
it's amazing.
January.
Yeah. I know,
January.
I've seen it.
Yeah, right?
Right by your trash cans.
That's right. There you go. Don't look at the trash cans.
That's right.
Look at the camellia.
Now, let me ask you, how long have you had that, Len?
A long time. That's been in there probably 10 years.
10 years, look at that. And still thriving.
And still thriving.
Yes, it is.
Now, you folks that are in Zone 5, we are... Six. I mean, even some of the plants that are Zone 7, we might get some die back on. Like we're in a weird zone where it's a little bit more temperate than on the
other side.
It also depends. I mean, you go farther south, Jersey, like let's just say Elmer, Pittsgrove,
right?
Like that's even I think a zone warmer than we are.
Wow.
So that's a healthy 7.
Healthier.
Yeah, we're more. 6A, 6B. Anyway, those are your hardiness zones. You can look at a hardiness map and find out what you're rated.
You're right.
But there's camellias that will even grow in like a Zone 5.
Right.
That
That's what we're looking at.
Yeah, and that's what we're talking about. So let's see. What is a camellia? How would you describe a camellia?
It's the flower looks almost like a rose. Some of them look like peonies, okay?
Yeah.
But I think they're more like a rose too.
Yep, but it's tighter.
It's tighter, yes. It's much tighter.
Flatter, like almost the size of a hockey puck.
Yes, it's big.
Yeah, and some of them.
Yep.
Like my Yuletide is on the smaller side. You know, like the size of a golf ball.
Right.
And that they're budded now.
They're budding now, yes.
They're budded now. Yeah. And the surprising thing is that they prefer to be planted in spring.
In spring, yes.
And that's all about getting them established. So in this temperate zone, you're going to, in our listening area, if you're getting a camellia, it would be a good idea to make sure that you do a heavy mulching. To it when after you've planted. You want to protect those roots
especially now, right?
Yeah, and planting in the fall.
Right.
And also try to pick a spot where it's protected from those winter winds.
Oh, okay.
We have overwintered some above ground that we've had left over at Bloomers. And what happens is that the leaves will turn like almost like a yellowish chartreuse color, and they turn ugly because normally the foliage is a beautiful dark green.
Yes, very nice.
And start thinking the camellias as another evergreen choice because they are
evergreen.
An evergreen. They are an evergreen.
They are evergreen, yeah.
But when we went through the winter and we had these chartreuse ugly yellowing that almost looked dying.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I was like, oh boy, we lost these.
Right.
And they came out of it. They pushed out of it. And that it's because the low humidity during the winter that it was taking the moisture out of the leaves and it just the plant said, we're done.
We're done, huh?
Because again, the leaf surface is where transpiration takes place.
Right.
And so that's all of a sudden all the humidity comes out of the leaf.
Yeah.
So
I had to transfer some of that energy probably down somewhere else.
Yeah. Well, it's So you need to protect them. So plant them in a protected area. The colder zone you are, in southern New Jersey, you don't have to be as wary of where you're putting it. But if you're up towards Allentown, you absolutely have to.
Sure, you got to be careful.
Yeah, and again, it's all about location. They'll take a little bit of shade,
right?
But they like to be protected from a northern
angle.
It's all about winter wind, and we're going to talk about that when we talk about pansies too, where it's all about protecting them from that winter wind.
That wind really hurts.
And so they will flower anywhere, and we have varieties that will flower anywhere from now all the way through into April.
Wow.
And it's just really bizarre to
and that's
see
the great thing about these folks.
Yeah.
That they're able to come, in the wintertime, you're having yours and you have color already.
Yep.
I mean, that's that's the beauty of it.
And honestly, it's like a friend that comes back and it's blooming. It's like, wow, spring is going to come.
Right,
spring is going to come just when you think that it's going to be bitter cold forever.
And what other plant do you see is flowering at that time?
Not many.
No,
not many.
Yeah.
Not many.
So this is one that you really want to look at.
Yep.
And like you said, Len, it's underused.
Yeah, check the tags. Make sure you check the tags on the plants.
Okay.
And that will give you a hardiness range. That there's Ice Angels, which is out there, which is a series of cold, hardy camellias. But again, it'll say on the tag of where it should be grown. And one thing about protection, if you say create a wind block of say burlap, and that create that around it, good idea. Also remember mulch heavy, because you're going to want to allow those roots to establish as best and as long as you can.
Right. Once that's done, you're pretty well.
But you're going to have to water. You're going to have to water, and that, like we talked about in the first segment, we have regular watering, so you may have to supplement water once in a while.
Right.
But once we get into regularly freezing temperatures, the year will be pretty good. You won't necessarily have to water. If we get a dry stretch where it's all of a sudden, we get those warm stretches where it's like 70 degrees and it's 3 or 4 days in a row. Take a watering can out there and water it.
And water a little bit.
It'll thank you, and it'll keep that moisture, and it'll stop them from turning that ugly green chartreuse dead leaf color.
Oh, the dead leaf. Oh.
But again, they do come back out of that, so don't be too concerned.
Okay.
Don't be too concerned.
Good. Thank you.
And what's the variety we have? It's flowering right now.
Agnes P. Solomon.
And it's a pretty pink.
Oh, it's pretty pink, yes. Gorgeous.
Nice pink.
Yeah. Beautiful pink. Double flower.
Yep.
It came from North Carolina, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what they did a lot of work.
Oh, yes.
To develop those new
They
varieties.
do. Yes, they do.
Yeah.
And thank God we have some of those up here. Now we can enjoy it, right, Len?
That's exactly right. And again, mine's been planted for 10 years.
10 years. Look at that, folks. So don't be scared about planting these.
These are tried and true. So.
Yes, they are. They're tried and true. Don't be scared to put them out there. Even though it needs a little bit of protection, that's okay. They're beautiful.
And I'll tell you what, put it somewhere where you're going to your car
in
the morning so that you can see it. Don't put it somewhere in your backyard where you're never going to go in the winter.
Yeah.
Make sure you put it someplace that's near your driveway or near your front walk, and any of your guests will see that and say, "Oh my God, there's a plant that's blooming outside."
No, it's amazing.
And then you can say, "Yes, we heard it on Bloomers in the Garden."
That's
right. All right, coming up in our next segment. Julio, have you ever wondered why the leaves change color?
Oh,
you're going to find out right after this. High Yield brand bone meal contains 10% slow-release natural phosphorus. It helps all plants to develop sturdy root systems and stimulate healthy growth. You'll use it every time you plant bulbs, but it also is an excellent supplement fertilizer for roses, flowers, and vegetable gardens. High Yield bone meal is sourced from steamed bone meal, which provides a clean, natural source of phosphorus. High Yield is brought to you by VPG, the Fertilome people, and is available at these great stores. Daniel's Garden Center, Sumneytown Pike, Harleysville, Pennsylvania.
Bloomers in the Garden is brought to you each week by Bloomers Home and Garden Center. Bloomers is an award-winning garden center just 20 minutes from Philadelphia. Bloomers has been providing expert advice turning brown thumbs green for over 30 years. At Bloomers, we want you to ask us every question, even if you think it's silly. We share information in a friendly, non-judgmental way that is meant to teach and spread the joy of gardening. Visit Bloomers Home and Garden Center in Washington Township, Gloucester County. For directions, go to bloomers.com, and we'll see you in the garden.
Hi, this is Len Schroeder from Bloomers in the Garden. Do you have a landscape, garden, or plant question? If so, call or text us using the Bloomers in the Garden hotline. Dial 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. Don't be shy. We want to hear from you. Call or text us and let us know what problems you're facing. Let us know how we're doing. Call or text 609-685-1880. If we use your comment on the air, we'll send you a free Bloomers t-shirt. Call or text us at 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. And we'll see you in the garden.
And, you know, when I was a child, I was looking at those leaves falling down, and they're all different kind of colors. And I was wondering, boy, this is really amazing. And I still look at it and go, wow,
right?
Look at these beautiful colors.
Right. And so many people think that it's the heat or temperature, like, oh, it's getting colder, so the leaves are changing. It's not the color.
No.
It's not the cold, is it?
Cold. No, it isn't.
What is it?
It's the sunlight.
Sunlight.
That's now we have less.
We
know that because I'm sleeping longer.
Yeah. You were late the other day.
I was.
It's funny how the light really controls almost everything in plants, and it naturally goes with the heat of what the regular ambient temperature is.
Yeah.
But it's really the sunlight and the amount of sunlight that plants get, and that's what calls them into bloom or into dormancy, like plants are doing now, and that's what's happening in those trees.
Right.
Now, it's not only like the street trees or the yard trees, deciduous trees that are dropping their leaves. It's also plants like azaleas. And different types of white pine and pines and evergreens.
Evergreens, huh?
They also get rid of some of their needles. Now, leaf and conifer is a needle.
Right.
And that they shed out that growth.
Wow.
Now,
amazing.
Why do they do that? I know why. Do you know why?
Yeah.
Why do they shed out why do evergreens drop their leaves?
Well, a lot of them are regenerating new growth.
For next year.
For next year, yes.
Yep. Yeah, and also a lot of the times after they've grown, that the leaves that are shedding out are not getting the same amount of sunlight, not only because it's fall, but also because that new growth is shading the old growth.
Oh, okay.
So that old growth now is not it being shaded, it's not getting any sunlight, and therefore it's not producing any food, and there's no chlorophyll going through there. And so they say, hey, we're going to vacate and drop on the ground.
Oh, okay.
And
we didn't even think about those things, do we?
Yeah.
Why it's happening.
That's right. And again, has to do with sun.
The sun, yeah.
Because sun is required, like the vitamin D, right? Vitamin D is from the sun for us, and plants produce chlorophyll by the sunlight and the amount of light that they get.
Now, what is chlorophyll?
Chlorophyll.
Yeah.
It's the green part of the leaf.
It's a pigment, right? Yeah.
That's right.
Green,
If we really want to dumb it down, that's what it is.
That's what it is, yeah.
It's the green stuff.
The green stuff, yeah. It's important, too.
That's right. But it's the pigments that make them change to different colors. Right.
And that chlorophyll is a pigment.
Yep.
And that's the green one, like you said, Len.
That's right.
And they produce leaf cells. Right. So these leaf color comes from pigments, and these pigments are natural substances that produce leaf cells.
Right. And think of like a carrot, right?
Right.
Carrot is orange.
Right.
Most carrots are orange, I should say. So, and that is carotenoid, which again is the pigment that is the orange color.
Right. That we see.
Orange and browns that you see.
Right.
And anthocyanin. That is the red.
As a red
pigment.
One, yeah. Red.
So
and
when
purple.
you see a red leaf on a tree, and a tree that has red leaves,
red maple,
that's the pigment that's in there that's changing color, and that's what's happening in that tree.
Wow.
But I'll tell you what, its chlorophyll is the most important of all of the three different colors.
Yes.
So without chlorophyll in the leaves, the tree wouldn't be able to use any sunlight for food.
Yeah.
So
It'd be
basically, when the tree leaf is changing color, it's pretty much going dormant for the season. So you're not getting that kind of action you would get with regular chlorophyll when a tree is starting to change color.
Wow.
That's why trees, when they start changing color in the summertime, that's not a good
Not a
thing.
good thing. No. Something's going on, right?
That's right.
Uh-oh.
But a lot of times you'll have a secondary bud that will come out and leaf out again. Like, so a lot of times we'll have customers that say, oh, I watered that thing every day.
Right.
It's like, yeah, well, how come it's all crispy and dead?
Ooh, yeah.
What happens is that all of a sudden you say, let's leave it in the ground for a while and see if you get a secondary leaf out.
Sure.
And a lot of times that happens.
Yeah, that's good.
So very, like, for instance, don't replace any of the plants that you think are dead, because they may be dormant.
Okay.
And they may come out in the spring.
Oh, okay.
So just let it go.
Let it go.
Let them in the ground. They're
Let it
better
go.
off in the ground. And that
Until
they're going to
spring.
get, again, like we talked about in the first segment, natural rainy season. So they're going to get regular watering, whether, you know, maybe you're not that consistent, but we'll have little consistent rains.
right.
And all of a sudden you might have that thing come back in the spring. And I don't like replacing anything in the fall.
No, it's too.
I like putting plants in the fall, but I don't like replacing anything in the fall, because that plant still could be alive.
That's good.
Yep. You know, he's that $10 word, anthocyanin. You know,
Anthocyanin.
that pigment, right? You know what that's what makes apples red.
Apples red, yeah. Wow.
And cranberries.
And cranberries, wow.
Pretty cool.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, isn't that
And it also has to do with a little bit with temperatures. You know, if we have an early frost, that it will make actually the colors of the trees worse. So you know how they say, oh, the trees are beautiful up in the Poconos now.
Right.
And they are, because we haven't really had much of a frost. I think a week ago we had a threat of a frost. I don't think we got it.
No.
But if we had a frost, like sometimes we'll get a weird frost in September.
Right.
The tree leaves are muted. So you don't get the spectacular color if you get an early frost.
But you notice when it rained, though, when it rained, it seemed to be more my tree up front, more red.
Yeah, there it is. Rainy and overcast days tend to increase the intensity of fall color.
How about that?
Pretty amazing stuff.
It is.
When you're looking to buy a plant and put it in,
right?
Sure, flower color is going to be the thing that's always highlighted. But again, foliage color in the fall, that's huge.
It is huge.
That's huge. Foliage color in the fall. Like, I was looking at some ginkgos.
Right.
There's a columnar ginkgo that is spectacular. And that thing right now is a lemon peel yellow. It is stunning.
My
It is
goodness.
stunning. Best thing about ginkgos is that the leaf dries up, shrivels out. You don't really have to rake it like you would have to, like a maple or an oak leaf.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, I like
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
Can we get one of those?
We can. They're a little on the pricey side,
That's
so you know.
I think it's worth all the pricing, though.
That's right. That's right. Because it's a great plant.
It is a great
Plant. Respects its borders. All right, we've got another segment coming up.
Wow.
We've got a break, and let's see. What are we talking? Oh, mums.
Oh, boy.
Mums.
They're coming to where?
The party's over.
Party's over.
All right, we'll be right back after this.
Bloomers in the Garden is brought to you each week by Bloomers Home and Garden Center. Bloomers is an award-winning garden center just 20 minutes from Philadelphia. Bloomers has been providing expert advice turning brown thumbs green for over 30 years. At Bloomers, we want you to ask us every question, even if you think it's silly. We share information in a friendly, non-judgmental way that is meant to teach and spread the joy of gardening. Visit Bloomers Home and Garden Center in Washington Township, Gloucester County. For directions, go to bloomers.com, and we'll see you in the garden. Are you tired of mice moving into your home with you every fall? Would you like to keep them from coming into your home? Do you dislike using mouse killers around your kids and pets? Bonide has the answer. Mouse Magic. Mouse Magic is an all-natural mouse repellent that keeps mice from coming into your home, summer cabins, cars, boats, RVs, farm equipment, garden sheds, and more. Mouse Magic has a pleasant aroma, which smells like spearmint and peppermint, but mice hate it. Mouse Magic repels by smell and works as an irritant that drives mice away. Just use 1 throw pack per average size room, and you are mouse-free for up to 2 months. Available in a 4-pack box or a 12-pack economy Ziploc bag. Bonide products are family made in America. Mouse Magic can be found at these fine stores.
Lehigh Valley Home and Garden, Allentown, PA. The Rhodes Garden, North Wales, PA. Mastardi's Nursery, Newtown Square, PA. Hi, this is Len Schroeder from Bloomers in the Garden. Do you have a landscape, garden, or plant question? If so, call or text us using the Bloomers in the Garden hotline. Dial 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. Don't be shy. We want to hear from you. Call or text us and let us know what problems you're facing. Let us know how we're doing. Call or text 609-685-1880. If we use your comment on the air, we'll send you a free Bloomers t-shirt. Call or text us at 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. And we'll see you in the garden.
All right, lad, we're back in the garden and having problems with your mom?
My mom?
Your mom?
Well, I don't want to get personal.
No? Okay.
But my flowering hardy mums.
Hardy mom, yeah.
I'm having problems with them, too.
Oh, I know.
Flowers are gone.
They're gone.
Yeah, they're looking pretty raggedy.
Pretty much.
So what should I do?
Oh, throw them out, Len.
Wait a minute, you skipped to the bottom of our segment. But really,
No.
if I don't want to throw them out, should I just deadhead the flowers
Yeah,
off?
deadhead them. Mm-hmm.
Okay, just keep them green, grow them like a foliage plant?
Just like a plant. Yep.
Yeah, just like a regular
plant. Yep.
shrub.
You cut it in half. Okay.
So why do I want to cut it in half?
Well, you want to, you don't want you want to start the process
Right.
next year to get your
Okay,
blooms.
so I'm just it's shearing it to keep it a fuller plant.
That's correct.
And I'm
You're
just
gonna
kind
keep
of
it low.
cleaning it up.
Right. You clean up the plant, and so you're getting it ready, and so you'll have
It's
the
a
right
lot of
size and
it's a lot
shape.
of work.
It's
to
shaping. Yeah, you're
getting
shaping it.
to come back nice.
Mhm.
Because if you don't cut it back, it ends up being real tall and
tall.
leggy, and it
And
doesn't even resemble the plant
not
that you
even-
originally purchased.
That's right. Not a mum. Huh?
Yeah, it's not. Well, it's a chrysanthemum. You know,
Right,
It's
that's
a
right.
chrysanthemum at that point, not a
That's
hardy
right.
mum. Because
Uh-huh.
you really, what you're looking for is that original dome shape
Dome.
that you had, or that rounded shape.
Yeah.
It is induced into growing that way by what they call pinching.
Pinching. Right.
Pinching is a way, another way of cutting it
Cut
back.
it back.
When they pinched way back when, it was pinched not with a
Uh-huh.
clippers, shears, or
Yeah.
or other type of cutting device. It was actually, they really literally pinched it.
Hand. Wow.
Yep.
That's
do
pretty
you
awesome.
know there's something called florist mum?
Florist.
Now
mums.
you've gotten those like
Okay.
Easter a lot of times, and
Yeah,
they look
I-
nothing like the
No,
they
they
look
don't.
nothing like the hardy mums
Yeah.
that you get in the fall.
What did they do that up to those?
What happens is that the buds are taken so that there's maybe 4 plants in a pot,
Okay.
and they take all of the buds that were going to become flower buds and they pull them off and just keep 1 or 2 flowers on the top of it, maybe a little more, but it produces a larger flower,
Oh.
and it gives you that look that you present. It looks like that. Again, like that large flower, multi-flowered plant, but it's actually 4 different plants that have, maybe 2 or 3 flowers on it. But by taking the buds off or pinching the buds off, it becomes a larger plant. That would be something fun to try.
That would be fun. Yeah.
Yeah, instead of trying to get that,
whole-
big sheer dome shape,
Sure.
what if you tried to pinch those
Pinch it a little bit.
flowers, and then, it takes a little more work, but the result might be like, wow, look at the size of the flowers on
So the
these
flowers
guys.
get bigger. Wow.
The flowers get bigger.
No kidding.
The flowers get bigger. Because
Wow.
all the energy, rather than going to all of the different buds,
It's going.
they're just
into-
going right. And it's kind of like you keep only the top growth on
Right.
there. It's
Oh, wow.
a little different.
A little different.
Another
Yeah.
thing. But you've got to really, you've got to cut it back like about a third if you're going to just shear it the way that you get a fall mum to look. You do it a third of the growth, the new growth, end of May, June something like that. And then you do it maybe one more time, pinching or shearing in July.
So you're doing it twice.
You just want to make sure that you're stopping it and just keep an eye on it. You're just maintaining that shape, and you'll see it take on that shape in July. Right. After that, after your second pinch, it'll be at that
start
shape.
to bud up again.
Yep, it starts to bud, and make sure that you're start feeding in May.
Feeding in May. Oh, that's important. Huh?
Yep, and if you feed it in May, you're going to be using a Spoma plant tone, all organic.
Right.
Great fertilizer. Our friends at Spoma.
Spoma, yeah. Right.
But what happens in just a few weeks when we have a freeze?
My goodness.
They're dormant.
They're gone.
You might not get growth out of the top. You could lose it all the way down. But look,
I know
they're $5.
I know what you're thinking, Len.
If you want to go all season playing with this thing, that's fine.
That's fine. Yeah,
that's fine.
Okay.
That can be your pet project.
That's right.
Euthanize
a learning
them.
Experience.
Yes,
right?
It could be a learning experience, but we recommend for what you get out of them and how inexpensive they are.
Right.
Just buy them again.
Yep, buy them again.
You'll be much happier.
Oh yes.
And because they're going to be these green meatballs that are in your yard that aren't doing anything, and they kind of look like a weed. They actually are a weed. There are wild chrysanthemums that are something you may be trying to get out of your lawn. But again, if you want to do it, you've got to keep after it. You got to shear it. You got to feed it. What I would suggest, if you want to do that, move it into an area where you don't really notice it, like maybe backyard or back of the landscape, and take care of it there. And then, when it starts to bud up and bloom after you've sheared it, you can see it in the background.
Oh, okay.
So it's not as obvious, because most people plant mums like right up in front
of the house
because they're a showplace. But
yeah.
Transplant them into an area where you could use something.
Yeah,
again, you can see them from a distance. You can absolutely see them from a distance. So it's not something where it's
hidden,
where it's taken up, but it becomes an ugly meatball in your landscape. So, anyway.
Oh my!
All right, that's enough of that. That's enough of that. All right,
meatballs.
We've got another segment coming up. We have another suggestion that you can replace where you have those mums. That'll have it growing all the way probably into almost January, after Christmas, maybe
January, maybe.
All right, we'll be right back after this. Does your garden have planting insurance? It can now with Biotone Starter Plus from Spoma. It's the ultimate starter plant food. The secret is a special blend of natural organic plant food, beneficial microbes, and mycorrhizal fungi. The result? Plants grow faster, roots grow deeper, flowers and vegetables flourish. Best of all, every Espoma product is safe for people, pets, and the planet. Visit espoma.com for a retailer near you. Biotone Starter Plus from Espoma, a natural in the garden since 1929. The Bird Sanctuary at Bloomer's Home and Garden Center is dedicated to the care and feeding of wild birds. We carry a flock of feeders like the Brome Squirrel-Proof Feeder, which has a lifetime guarantee. Brome makes fantastic feeders for frustrating squirrels and feeding songbirds. Bloomer's Bird Sanctuary has a vast selection of wild bird seed, suet, seed cakes, and mealworms. We carry Lyric, Coles, C&S, Pine Tree Farms, and our own line called Bloomer's Blend. Bloomer's Blend Songbird Magnet contains premium black oil sunflower, peanut splits, millet, safflower, and tree nuts. It's sure to attract the most colorful songbirds to your yard. Bloomer's Home and Garden Center is located in Washington Township in Gloucester County, New Jersey. Visit us online at www.bloomers.com. When you come in, ask for Shirley Spurbeck, Bloomer's Wild Bird Specialist. Mention you heard it on Bloomers in the Garden Radio, and we'll give you $10 off a 20-pound bag of Bloomer's Blend Songbird Magnet Mix. Hi, this is Len Schroeder from Bloomers in the Garden. Do you have a landscape, garden, or plant question? If so, call or text us using the Bloomers in the Garden hotline. Dial 609-685-1010 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. Don't be shy. We want to hear from you. Call or text us and let us know what problems you're facing. Let us know how we're doing. Call or text 609-685-1880. If we use your comment on the air, we'll send you a free Bloomers t-shirt. Call or text us at 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. And we'll see you in the garden.
All right, Len, we are back in the garden, and now that we talked about getting rid of your mom, even though you might want to take care of it, right?
Your hardy mom.
Your hardy
not
mom.
Not your real mom.
The hardy
Be nice
mom.
to your real mom.
I know. Now we have them kind of put aside maybe.
Yeah.
We can look at other things that we have in the garden center.
Right.
And one of those is ornamental kale or cabbage.
Right.
Okay.
And where it can tolerate frost,
That's
actually the inside, and some people call it flowering kale or flowering. It's not actually flowering. You don't want it to flower. That it's actually the centers color up, and it gets to be either a white, purple, pink in the center, and that center, as it gets colder, becomes more pronounced.
Wow.
Yeah, so we've had them where they are 24 inches across.
Wow, they're huge.
And the color center is can be up to a foot.
A foot? Wow.
Very pretty.
Beautiful.
Keep on growing. Keep on growing. You have to have a major freeze in the 20s sustained to kill them.
Wow, that much. Huh?
Yeah, and sometimes they don't. Sometimes they'll make it all the way through.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yep.
They can handle it.
Yep, and think about all the Thanksgiving,
right?
People over for Thanksgiving, and I mean, heck, I said, they'll go all the way into Christmas.
Ooh.
Again, it depends on the weather patterns, but just like you would plant cabbage or broccoli or cauliflower or kale or cabbage. It's going to grow that same way. It tolerates that cold weather.
Right. So we're talking about ornamental. Some people say, "Oh, can I eat these?"
Yes.
Yeah.
Grow a garnish.
Yeah, garnish. That's right.
So it's what they use. You see them a lot in salad bars.
Yeah, you do.
Wow. But the difference between an ornamental kale, kale has a roughly leaves.
Yep, crinkly like.
Yeah, and cabbage has a smoother leaf.
Smooth. Yeah.
And they basically do the same thing. Now there's a couple other varieties, like there's a peacock variety. That's the one that gets taller and more lanky. So almost like a tall, like a kale plant, or it's not going to get like broccoli, but it's going to be more upright.
Upright, taller.
Good plant. Like I think they look great mixed with grasses because you have different textures in a container.
Container, yeah.
But
great container plants.
Plant some bulbs underneath it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So what to do is plant some tulips or crocus or daffodils underneath the kale or cabbage or grasses, and then when the kale are looking like they're showing their age in January, just pull them out. And then what'll happen, those bulbs will come up through, and you'll have the bulbs growing in the spring.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Continue that color.
Yep.
Going and
and if you use crocus, like crocuses are going to be some of the earliest, or daffodils.
Daffodils, yeah.
Look for those early flowering plants. So
see, that's what I love. Lan, you're telling us about how all this continues. We're not. Yeah. We're not waiting in January or February for you have nothing.
Yeah.
You have color.
Yeah, that's right. And my favorite is actually pansies.
Oh wow.
Pansies,
they're great, aren't they?
Another one
that
before,
lasts for
like
quite a while.
With a name like Pansy, they've got to be tough.
They got to be tough, yeah.
Like
That's
Boy
right.
Named Sue.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, with that, pansies will flower now.
Okay.
And that they'll flower for a long time. It's the wind that we get, the winter winds, and it burns off the flowers. The plant's still alive.
Right.
But it's all of a sudden there's no more flowers. But you'll see the green plant alive. But the best part is that in March they'll start blooming again.
Wow.
So same idea.
How are they with the frost? Are they okay with that? Or?
Yeah. No, they can tolerate frost.
Oh, yeah.
It's wind. They don't like wind at all.
I don't know. Huh?
No. No, we often we sell pansies in both fall and spring.
Okay.
And there are times where in the springtime where we get that cold winter. It's like it may be March. In like a lion, out like a lamb.
Yeah, right.
That where we get that wind and
Okay.
it burns the flowers a little,
Right.
and people think there's something wrong with them, but there really isn't. It's
Right,
just it's just from that
Okay.
that wind that
Wind
may
has
have
hurt
whipped
it.
them up a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But again, you get double flower out of them,
Wow.
and it's really the heat when it gets hot
don't
into
like that.
July, into even June,
June.
where they'll stop flowering
Okay.
and then they'll go dormant. And a lot of times they're just gone. If you put them in a little bit of shade, they'll flower longer.
Uh-huh.
But again, two seasons out of them.
That's not bad.
And
That's pretty
I
good.
know that I put them outside. We have a deck outside of a sliding door
Doors.
from our bedroom,
Right.
and I have them planted in window boxes that
boxes?
are on the deck railing.
Oh, that's got to look
Yeah,
nice.
it is.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
and again, it's like the camellia where
Right.
it pansies have a face, and,
right.
and that where they're blooming, and it's like,
Yeah.
wow, look
Look at
you know,
that.
spring is coming.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, I know.
the world isn't going to end.
No, it's
gonna,
not.
spring is coming.
I know. We
Spring
love
is
it.
coming.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, it is. I mean, so again, same thing too with
Uh-huh.
the pansies. If you put them in a container, like if you have some of your mixed containers are done,
Right.
rip the stuff
them off.
out, replant, get some fresh potting soil,
Right.
put in some bulbs
Yeah.
underneath the pansies, and then
That's right.
plant your pansies on top. And then in the spring, like my biggest thing is having a blue blotch-faced pansy with a
Okay.
big flower head
Uh-huh.
growing in a pot with
Right.
pink tulips coming through it
Ooh.
in the spring.
My goodness.
And like they're not the pansies will not stop the tulips from coming through them, but you'll have a tulip that's 18 inches tall, and you'll have the pansies at the base underneath.
Look at that. All planned out
Yep.
like that.
Yeah, it's a great
Beautiful.
idea.
Good.
Get out there and try it.
Yeah.
Get out there and try it.
And we still got plenty of time for the bulbs, huh, Len?
Yeah, you know, if you plant them now, you're good.
Yeah.
Anytime between now, but I mean, our bulbs, I think last year we didn't plant them until November.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, it's a bit with bulbs. They need that
Chill.
coolant. They need a little bit chill period.
Yeah.
You know, it's not they're not growing, doing a whole lot.
Yeah.
But I prefer them again when it's colder.
Colder.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Plenty of time.
That's right.
Yes, we love it.
That's right. All right, got another break,
All right.
and we'll be right back right after this. The Bird Sanctuary at Bloomer's Home and Garden Center is dedicated to the care and feeding of wild birds. We carry a flock of feeders like the Brome Squirrel-Proof Feeder, which has a lifetime guarantee. Brome makes fantastic feeders for frustrating squirrels and feeding songbirds. Bloomer's Bird Sanctuary has a vast selection of wild bird seed, suet, seed cakes, and mealworms. We carry Lyric, Coles, C&S, Pine Tree Farms, and our own line called Bloomer's Blend. Bloomer's Blend Songbird Magnet contains premium black oil sunflower, peanut splits, millet, safflower, and tree nuts. It's sure to attract the most colorful songbirds to your yard. Bloomer's Home and Garden Center is located in Washington Township in Gloucester County, New Jersey. Visit us online at www.bloomers.com. When you come in, ask for Shirley Spurbeck, Bloomer's Wild Bird Specialist. Mention you heard it on Bloomers in the Garden Radio, and we'll give you $10 off a 20-pound bag of Bloomer's Blend Songbird Magnet Mix.
Bloomers in the Garden is brought to you each week by Bloomers Home and Garden Center. Bloomers is an award-winning garden center just 20 minutes from Philadelphia. Bloomers has been providing expert advice turning brown thumbs green for over 30 years. At Bloomers, we want you to ask us every question, even if you think it's silly. We share information in a friendly, non-judgmental way that is meant to teach and spread the joy of gardening. Visit Bloomers Home and Garden Center in Washington Township, Gloucester County. For directions, go to bloomers.com, and we'll see you in the garden.
See me and Julio down by the schoolyard. See me and Julio down
Well,
by the
Julio, down
schoolyard.
What did we get schooled in today?
Oh, my goodness. We talked about camellias. We talked
Camellias.
about the changes of the leaves,
Yeah.
colors, and things like that.
Anthocyanin, is that right? That's a red pigment.
Red pigment. Yeah, we love
Give
it.
me an apple.
Yeah. Yes, we'll give you plenty of that.
But I tell you, the camellias, though, I think if we had to boil
love
this
them.
show down to probably the most important thing to try,
I think so.
the camellias, and maybe doing an underplanting of bulbs. In your
pots.
plantings, so that they come up in the spring.
Yes.
It's like, wow, hey,
Wow,
that's
look at
right.
that.
That work paid off.
It did.
Work paid off.
Yeah, we love it.
Yeah.
Continue that.
Well-
Yeah, continue to plant, folks. I mean, this is the time of year to do that.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Yep. Don't forget to call Bloomers in the Garden hotline.
Yeah.
With any lawn or landscape question or garden questions, please call us.
Yeah. Again, that number is 609-685-1880. Rob, thank you for doing the job today, filling in for Brett.
Yep. Hey, do us a favor. The next time you visit a garden center, tell them you listen to Bloomers in the Garden, Philadelphia Garden Radio. Please do that for us.
Thank you. And hey, we'll see you next week right here in the garden.
Yes, we'll see you in the garden.
Bloomers in the Garden is an hour-long gardening radio program that airs to over 6 million residents throughout the Delaware Valley. From Allentown to Wilmington, from the Main Line to the Jersey Shore, Bloomers in the Garden can be heard twice each Saturday morning, first at 8 a.m. on 860 WWDB and again at 9 on 610 a.m. ESPN Radio. Each episode of Bloomers in the Garden will be broadcast on Bloomers' Facebook page and available as a podcast on bloomersinthegarden.com. Bloomers in the Garden is adding sponsors. Share your message to our large, diverse group of listeners. Commercials and segment sponsorships are available at incredibly affordable prices. Let Bloomers in the Garden get your message out to one of the largest and most diverse populations in the country. If you're interested in joining us in the garden, please visit bloomersinthegarden.com or email len@bloomers.com.
The first person to survive Alzheimer's disease is out there. They might even be listening to this right now. Maybe they're waiting for the traffic light to change. Maybe they're daydreaming about a trip they've planned with their family. Maybe they're in a toddler seat, strapped in, and wondering if they're almost home. That first survivor is out there, and they're going to hold on to everything the disease steals away. And the Alzheimer's Association is going to make it happen by funding research, advancing public policy, and spurring scientific breakthroughs, and by providing local support right now to those living with the disease and their caregivers, we're easing the burden for all those facing it until we accomplish our goal. Alzheimer's disease has devastated millions of lives, but that's all going to change when we reach the first survivor. But we won't get there without you. Visit alz.org to join the fight.